Imagine this. You are a professional 800-meter runner consistently in the 144s, 145s, and on your worst day, you run 146. If this is something you plan to accomplish one day, then you found the right guy, and his name is Niko Schultz. What's going on, y'all? Currently, we're at 4,400 subscribers on YouTube, and I cannot tell you how proud and glad I am to have each and every single one of y'all be part of my community and be a supporter of me on this journey. For any of my new viewers and subscribers out there, obviously my name is Niko Schultz, 800-meter runner at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, and I've had one heck of a journey. You know, in high school, I was a 154 guy, and in high school, I thought I was him, but in reality, I was rolled if you look on the national level. And I get to college, right? And then next thing you know, within my first 2 years of competitions, I'm in the 147s now, and I've split 146 in the SMR once. I've ran 147 indoors, I ran 147 outdoors, and ultimately at the end of the season, I did fall short of my goals of trying to run a 146 and a 145 in the open. But that's the beauty of track and field. You don't know what the future holds. There's going to be different inconsistencies. There are going to be different trials and tribulations throughout the entire time. But if you look at my progress that I've had within the last 3 years of being in the 145, 154s, the 156s, to like the 152s, the 151s, to the 150s and the 149s, and then the kind of like the weird in-betweens of the 149s to 148s, to finally now being in the 148s very consistently, finally being able to hit that 147 mark, occasionally squeaking out the 146, and then on my worst day, I'm able to give you a 148 to 149. It's been a dream and a crazy process in order to get to this level. And another cool thing about me and my journey is that I'm always going to be aiming super high. I am planning and planning on it and manifesting it, writing it down that I will be a 144 runner, that I will be a 145 runner, that I will get a pro contract one day and be doing this thing at a more professional level. Obviously, I'm already at college and you can call that semi-pro, but to actually be doing a pro and get a pro contract with an actual brand is the goal. And before I kickstart this video on my thoughts on how to become that 144 to 145 runner, different companies have been noticing. And as you guys can see, I got this cool shirt right here by Prozis, and it's Exceed Yourself. This is one of many cool different options you can go ahead and buy. And the cool thing is I got y'all at that discount too. Yes, I got you guys. Go ahead and click that link in the bio if you want to cop some cool merch. They got a bunch of socks, running shorts, cool workout shirts, protein powders, protein bars, lots of cool things. So shout out to Prozis for going ahead and sponsoring this video. But without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and jump right into this. So what do I think it requires for you to become a 145 800-meter runner? Now, I've never personally ran against a 145. I ran against two 146s indoors, but I have seen one crazy 145 in person. And one guy in particular has ran this, one of the best D2 runners of all time at the 800-meter run. His name is Wes Ferguson. Now, he was the guy who terrorized me throughout all of college. I could never beat this guy, especially on our home track. We've raced a bunch of times, and he was actually the one who pushed me to run the second all-time best time at the University of Nebraska. He ran a 147.3 against me indoors, and I ran a 148.1 indoors, and that was a number 2 all-time time. And there was just something so in particular about Wes, and it's pretty funny because me and him are really cool, and we got to talk about what type of runners we are. And you guys know me, I like to start my races pretty fast, pretty aggressively. And the thing about Wes is he doesn't get to point A to point B very fast, but he doesn't slow down. That first speed that you start with is something that he maintains throughout the entire time. When I watched him run a 145.7 down in California at Azusa Pacific College, he opened up his first 452.5 seconds, and he was in last place. He was going against a bunch of pro athletes, and he dropped his last 225 seconds. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen. He literally went 52.5 and then 52 like point like 6, 52.7. He basically even split, negative split his last 200, and that just goes to show that your racing strategy and your racing plan at a 144 to 145 level is just ahead of everybody else's. You're planning and aiming for different things. You are being so intentional about each step you take, so intentional about your breathing. And I believe that your racing strategy at this level is just astronomically better than a lot of other people's. And it just takes a different type of athlete and a different type of breed in order to run such a specific time. And it sounds funny, but in order to achieve something, you obviously have to think that you can do it first, right? You have to manifest that you can do it first. I'm over here talking at the beginning of this video that I'm going to become a 144 runner one day. I'm going to become a pro athlete, right? I'm not here hoping and wishing. I'm obviously praying for the opportunity, but every single day I'm waking up and I'm thinking to myself, what am I gonna do to get me closer to that goal, to accomplish this? And I've been doing this ever since high school. I've been doing this ever since I've been a 205 runner my freshman year of high school. I've been doing this ever since I was a 201 and then finally got to the 159s. And then once I got to the 159s, I'm like, okay, how do I get to the 156s? And then the 156s turn into 154s and so on and so forth. There's levels to the game and you're gonna be so surprised what the power of compounding time does to you. You guys know that time flies. It feels like it was 2016 a few days ago, and now we're in 2024. And believe it or not, but 2028 is already around the corner. Obviously, we got the Olympics coming up this year, but 2028 is my golden opportunity to try to make that Olympic team, that golden opportunity to try to become an Olympic champion one day in the 800-meter run and try to go 142s. But it's all a process, and 145 is a process, 150 was a process, and 142, 143 is a process. So that's my first thing, is the racing strategy and just realizing that in order to get to a different level of becoming such an elite 800-meter runner, it's gonna require things that you've never done before. Now let's go into the second part about what I believe makes you such an elite runner, is your lifestyle. Your lifestyle has to be above and beyond what the normal average human being is. Your sleep has to be better than the average human being, and your sleep has to be better than your competition. You have to be a very consistent person. Now, this is very hard to do. I have struggled with this numerous times, even this past season, of trying to be consistent, trying to make things like content, trying to go to school, trying to have a social life. It's very hard to mix and mash all these different things when you have such high goals, but it's a sacrifice you have to make. In order to get to the places you've never been to, you have to sacrifice things you have to sacrifice things that are very hard and very difficult to give up. Something that I had to sacrifice this past season was fried food. I gave up burgers the entire season. I was eating spinach, vegetables, lots of protein, and it was very tough, but at the same time, so I've ran better than I've ever ran before, and I've had opportunities that I've never been given before, like this Prozies band, or you guys know my Victory insoles, or you guys see me with the Magic Mind shots, right? I mean, I'm getting all these new opportunities from all these brands and recognition, and people are finally noticing me and my journey, but that doesn't happen without the sacrifices. That doesn't happen without me having to give up so much, give up the things that I love, say no to certain opportunities that I would have loved to have been to. You have to realize that delayed gratification is the only way you accomplish such feats. And maybe 145 and 146 is not your goal. Maybe your goal one day is just to break 150, and you'll be perfectly cool with that, and that's fine. People are at different levels. People require different things. Now, going back on that too, to kind of give a break as well, if you guys click the join section of my YouTube, you'll see that I have a section called Alpha. And on the Alpha section, for $150 a month, I'll write you an exclusive all-in training plan. We'll communicate. If you want to talk about it more and learn more, DM me on Instagram. My Instagram is Niko Schultz. There's a direct link to it in my YouTube bio. But if you give me your height, weight, average weekly mileage, and goals that you would like to accomplish, we can sit down together, hop on the phone, hop on a Zoom call, and talk about a training plan that'll get you right and goals. You know, there's a lot of different guys out there who have all the different philosophies about the 800, but if you could spot one solid plan from 147 800-meter runner and somebody who's aspiring to be an Olympian, I got you guys. So if that's something you're interested in, let me know. But back to the video. So as I said before, your lifestyle, it requires a lot of sacrifice and a lot of discipline. Your training, right? You're gonna have to be doing these 6-mile runs, probably at a like 6:20 to 6:30 pace pretty consistently, and you have to create a new threshold of fitness. I believe all 145 runners are fit athletes. I believe all 145 runners are disciplined guys who eat right, who are aspiring to become something great, and who just love competition. I think that the reason I've made it this far isn't because I have this crazy love for track and field. Yes, I have a respect for the sport. I think what's gotten me so far is genuinely the enjoyment of winning and competing and doing things at a high level. And most importantly for me, to inspire you guys to become better too. The days that I don't want to do it, I just think about all the viewers out there that are watching that, you know, I'm like, if I run this fast time, if I PR, my PR is gonna inspire another person to PR, and then that other person PR will probably inspire another person to PR, right? It's just this cycle that's gonna keep on continuing, right? Because I see other runners PR, and I'm just like, man, like I don't want him to become better than me, so I'm gonna work even harder. And I want you guys to think that of me. I want you guys to, you know, even for people out there who are my age racing me, like I want people to see these videos and be like, dang, this guy's out of his stuff, he's running this time, like I want to try to beat him. Like I love that. I love people that take shots, that take risks and take chances. And I think that's what makes this sport go round. I think that's what makes the world go round. There's only one guarantee about what power is in this world, and it's the given fact that you're gonna lose it one day. One day, I'm not gonna be a 143 runner no more, 144 runner, 145, 146, so on and so forth, right? I'm gonna lose that to the next generation. There's gonna be more super spikes. There's gonna be more sub 4-minute milers in high school, and the next thing you know, there's gonna be 145, 144 guys coming up to take my place, and I'm gonna get knocked off the record boards, right? I'm chasing the Nebraska school record, I'll break it, and then somebody else is gonna come along and break it one day, right? It's just the never everlasting cycle of competition. And if you don't have a competitive spirit, I highly recommend you adapt when you find reasons to keep going. Even on the days you don't wanna go, you can't find the right reason to do it. Do it to surpass your competition. Do it to try to break records. Do it because you hate it. I think that you have to fall in love with the things that you hate. I was talking to Jesse Hayward about this last time, so shout out to him. You have to fall in love with the mundane things that seem basic, right? It's basic to know to move your arms in the 800, but sometimes when you're tired and you get lactic, you forget. It's mundane to think about you have to breathe properly when you're running. It's such an easy thing. You breathe every single day, but you don't think about that when you're in high level competition, because you're in high level competition, you're racing, you forget about the little things. But the little things are what's gonna make you different. The little things are the difference makers between winning a race between point 2 and point 3. You guys have seen me dive across that finish line. Did I want to dive across the finish line? No, it hurt. But would I do it again to make sure my team wins, and that to see that 146 split on the board and do it in front of a stadium and have like the coolest celebrations? A million times over if I could. Now, to wrap up this video, you know, I'm gonna describe how, like, you know, what it takes to get to this level, right? I mean, like, what it takes is just a drive that nobody else has. It takes something that not a lot of other humans on this earth possess. And you have to be okay with that. You have to be okay with being an outlier to the common person, to the common man or person that you're around. I mean, your family members aren't going to probably understand the level and the journey that you're on in order to achieve a time, right? They're gonna wanna go out to dinner on certain nights, and you're gonna have to be like, look, I gotta get a salad, or look, I'm not gonna be able to eat this or drink that, and you're gonna get laughed at, you're gonna get made fun of. But when you're out there and you do amazing things on that track, and you do the things that you've always dreamed of doing, and then they're gonna be there still supporting you. They're not gonna understand it in the moment, but then once they see the outcome, they're gonna realize all along what it is you were chasing. And it's funny, there's a funny story I gotta share with you guys. So when I was in high school, I didn't have a track scholarship, right? And I was doing everything in my power in order to accomplish this. And there's a very specific moment that I was crazy in the mind, because I knew that I had a very big track meet coming up. My back was against the wall, it was COVID, and I was trying to break the 600 meter state record for Illinois to get a track scholarship. And 2 days before the race, I woke up at 3 a.m. on some Kobe Bryant stuff and went downstairs to my treadmill and started running. Now my treadmill is very loud, so I woke up my entire house. My mom came down and started screaming at me. My dad came down and started screaming at me. My middle brother, he came downstairs and said, "What the heck are you doing, bro?" And everybody was like, you're a maniac, you're crazy, you're insane. And then 2 days later, I broke a 21-year-old state record, ran at 119 indoors for Illinois, and they got a track scholarship the very next day. And then everyone kept asking me, how did you do it? How did you accomplish it? I was willing to do the things that nobody else my age was willing to do. And that was to honestly piss off the people that support me the most, that love me the most. And that's not to go to say to get your friends and your family mad, but you have to do the crazy things sometimes. You have to go outside and run in the 10-degree, 15-degree weather, because it's just the environment you live in. I'm from Illinois. I didn't have an indoor facility at the time, and I had to get my mileage in somehow. So I woke up, got it in, and when it was super cold out, and I just got ahead of my competition. I got fit. I didn't worry about other people, even the people that I love. I didn't worry about what they thought about me, because I am on my own journey. At the end of the day, all you have is yourself. And if you want to go do something in this world, no matter what the heck it is, I don't even care if this has something to do with running, you can go do that if you want to go do that. But if you sit back and listen to people and try to please other people and try to get your opinions and feelings validated from somebody else, you're never gonna achieve true fulfillment, because that other person doesn't feel what you feel. That other person, it doesn't mean the same to them. Feelings change, people change, things change, but the only thing that can remain true and remain, fixed throughout this entire life is your pursuit on whatever it is you want to become. If you have a vision, bro, if you have a dream, and if you have a goal that you want to accomplish, don't stop until you accomplish that goal. Don't stop because somebody says something bad about you. Go ahead and do that. Because that's what I did. No, I don't, as I mentioned before, people used to laugh at me for these YouTube videos. And look at me now. Now I'm out here doing the thing, and people are asking me, how did you accomplish it? How did you do it? 2.5 years ago, people were laughing at me for doing this stuff. People were calling me cheesy, clingy, corny, whatever the heck you want to call it. I was getting made fun of. And then now I'm almost at 5,000 subscribers, bro. And I'm literally so glad to have each and every single one of y'all support me throughout this journey, because it's been a long time coming. And one day we're gonna hit 100,000 on here, and hopefully even 1 million. That'd be insane. But it all starts with just hit and play, and that's an analogy just for everything too. The hardest step is just the first step. I believe that the saying goes, one day or day one, it's just all perspective. Now, to close out this video, I got something very cool for content planned for y'all. So I know obviously the season's over and content is gonna take a bit of a change, and I think it's gonna be a change for the better. I'm gonna start a documentary series. Episode 1 will begin on Monday, and it's gonna be an all-inclusive access on me training to become a national champion. Now, obviously, I can't guarantee that one day I'll be a national champion. I can manifest it, I can plan for it, I can pray for it. But one thing is gonna come true out of this, is that I'm gonna become a better person in the pursuit of trying to become a national champion. And I'm gonna give you guys all-inclusive access of the training, of the diet. It's gonna be more or less a vlog style. I'm gonna be breaking down my training, how I feel on certain days, why I'm doing the training, what I think the training is gonna do for me in the future. But it's gonna be just an all-inclusive access, and I'm gonna try to be very consistent with it. I'm gonna try to post like 4 to 5 times throughout the week of these videos, just try to make them super easy. If I'm going on a 6-mile run, I'll be breaking it down, my paces, what I thought about the run, and you guys are just gonna be coming along for the journey. It's just gonna be like a day in, day out type of thing, almost like a reality TV series of somebody trying to accomplish some great big goal. I mean, you guys have seen the NFL series and the QB1 things on Netflix of the QBs and their senior seasons, and mine's gonna be just like that, but mine's gonna be a very long process because I only have 2 chances to become a national champion. It's gonna be next March on the indoor season, and then obviously next year this time around June, outdoor season. So there's a lot of big things and big goals I have for the future. But to recap some of the things, Prosies, go ahead and cop your shirt. This shirt's fire. They have so many different fire stuff on there. Victory insoles, as you guys already know from my previous video, I got that link in the bio too. And then I'm also forgetting one as well, the training plan. If you guys want an all-inclusive access training plan from 147 Runner, hit me up on the Instagram or any other forms of social media if you guys are interested in that. So without further ado, man, this is what I thought or what I think it requires to become not just a 145 to 146 runner, but an overall better athlete, an athlete who has more consistent all-time performances than he's ever had before. I think that's what it takes. I think it takes sacrifice. I think it takes a certain level of thought, and I think it takes a relentless drive of wanting to become a more successful person, a successful athlete. And as always, guys, this has been Niko Schultz. Leave your guys' goals, thoughts, ideas in the comments, and I'll see you guys next time for the documentary series on day 1, episode 1 of becoming a national champion. See y'all. Peace.